Sally Kirkland Jr. was far more than an actress. She was a flame that burned with passion, creativity, and resilience. Born on October 31, 1941, in New York City, she entered the world on Halloween, a date as dramatic and vibrant as the life she would go on to live. Over 6 decades, she built a career that stretched across more than 250 film and television roles, leaving an indelible mark on Hollywood and the hearts of those who knew her. Her story was one of triumph, heartbreak, reinvention, and an unwavering devotion to art and humanity. When she passed away on November 11, 2025, at the age of 84, the world lost a woman whose light had illuminated screens and souls alike. Sally was born into a world of elegance and ambition. Her mother, Sally Kirkland Sr., was a fashion editor for Vogue and Life magazines, a woman of sophistication and creativity who instilled in her daughter an appreciation for beauty, expression, and self-assurance. Her father, Frederick McMichael Kirkland, worked in the scrap metal business, grounding the family with quiet strength and humility. Though Sally spent some of her childhood in Oklahoma, she carried with her the cosmopolitan charm of New York, blending city sophistication with down-to-earth warmth. Before she became a screen legend, Sally first captivated the world through stillness rather than motion, as a model for Vogue. Her striking looks and effortless poise made her a natural before the camera, but modeling wasn't enough for her restless, artistic soul. She craved something deeper, a way to express emotion, truth, and transformation. Acting became that path. Determined to master her craft, she studied at the Actors Studio under the legendary Lee Strasberg and Uta Hagen, 2 of the greatest teachers in American theater. Their mentorship ignited her artistry, teaching her to be raw, fearless, and honest in every performance. After graduating from the American Academy of Dramatic Arts in 1961, she stepped into the unpredictable world of acting, ready to risk everything for her passion. The 1960s were a wild, creative era in New York, and Sally was right in the middle of it. She became part of Andy Warhol's famous Factory, the beating heart of avant-garde art and rebellion. It was there that she truly tested the limits of performance. In Warhol's underground film The 13 Most Beautiful Women, 1964, she appeared nude and bound to a chair for nearly an hour, a shocking yet mesmerizing act that symbolized vulnerability and liberation. Her courage to bare not just her body, but her soul made her stand out, but the intensity of that lifestyle took a toll. Behind the glamour, Sally's world grew darker. She fell into drug use, her creative fire dimmed by the chaos of the era. After a near-fatal suicide attempt, she found herself at a crossroads. Through yoga, painting, and a rediscovery of faith, she rebuilt herself piece by piece. That rebirth marked the beginning of a new Sally, one tempered by pain but radiant with wisdom. Her resilience became her superpower. By the late 1960s, Sally was ready to face Hollywood again. She appeared in Blue, 1968, and Coming Apart, 1969, delivering performances full of emotional intensity and honesty. The 1970s brought her to the mainstream spotlight with films like The Way We Were, The Sting, Crazy Mama, and A Star Is Born. She stood out not by being the loudest, but by being the most authentic. Every role she took on, no matter how small, seemed to carry a piece of her soul. Television also became her playground, with memorable roles in Hawaii Five-0, Kojak, Starsky and Hutch, and Charlie's Angels. Her presence was magnetic. She could play vulnerable, funny, dangerous, or maternal with equal ease. Hollywood began to take notice of the woman who could disappear into any character and emerge unforgettable. Then came Anna in 1987, the role that would define her career. In it, she portrayed a once-famous Czech actress struggling to rebuild her life in America. The film mirrored Sally's own story, an artist who had lost everything and fought to find herself again. Her performance was a masterclass in emotional truth, drawing tears from audiences and standing ovations from critics. She won the Golden Globe for Best Actress and earned nominations for the Academy Award and Independent Spirit Award. For that brief and beautiful moment, Sally Kirkland was the face of resilience in Hollywood, proof that talent and heart could still triumph over glamour and gossip. The 1990s brought a mixture of challenges and achievements. She appeared in Bullseye, opposite Michael Caine, JFK with Kevin Costner, and The Player under Robert Altman's direction. Her work in The Haunted earned her another Golden Globe nomination, this time for television. She became a familiar face on beloved series like Roseanne Murder. She wrote The Nanny and Days of Our Lives. With each performance, she reminded the world that she was not fading, she was evolving. Off-screen, Sally's compassion and spirituality deepened. In the 2000s, she used her platform to help others heal, physically, emotionally, and spiritually. She became an ordained minister in the movement of spiritual inner awareness, blending faith and love in her daily life. Her radio program on the Healthy Life Network gave her a voice beyond Hollywood, where she spoke about health, art, and the journey to self-acceptance. She also became a fierce advocate for women's health after founding the Kirkland Institute for Implant Survival Syndrome in 1998. Motivated by her own experiences, she fought for women who suffered complications from breast implants, offering them support and a sense of sisterhood. For Sally, activism and artistry were inseparable. Both came from the same place of empathy and truth. In her later years, she remained creative and curious. She appeared in Bruce Almighty, Adam and Steve, and Big Stan, still glowing with the same energy she had as a young woman in Warhol's studio. Her final performances in Cuck, 2019, and Hope for the Holidays, 2020, were reminders of her lasting vitality and heart. Beyond her filmography, Sally's impact reached deep into the acting community. She mentored countless young talents, including Sandra Bullock, Barbra Streisand, Liza Minnelli, and Dwight Yoakam. Her students described her as tough but loving, someone who demanded truth on screen and compassion off it. Teaching gave her joy. Seeing her students succeed gave her purpose. Though she never married or had children, Sally was surrounded by love. Her circle of friends, artists, dreamers, and seekers, became her chosen family. Her generosity was legendary, her laughter infectious. She lived as she performed, fully, fearlessly, and from the heart. In her final years, life tested her one last time. Diagnosed with a degenerative illness in 2024, her memory began to fade. The woman who had given life to so many characters now struggled to hold on to her own stories. Financial hardship followed, and a GoFundMe was created to help her cover her medical expenses. Despite her challenges, Sally's optimism never wavered. She still spoke of healing, art, and hope, believing that every hardship had meaning. On November 11, 2025, Sally Kirkland passed away peacefully in Palm Springs, California. She was 84 years old. Surrounded by friends and love, she slipped away quietly, a graceful exit for a woman who had spent her life in the spotlight. Dementia may have dimmed her mind, but it never touched her spirit. Her death marked the end of an extraordinary era, a life lived in full color, with all its beauty and pain. She was a woman who broke rules, defied limits, and embraced vulnerability as strength. Sally showed the world that true artistry comes from authenticity, that courage can rise from despair, and that love, in all its forms, is the purest expression of the soul. Today, her performances, paintings, teachings, and acts of kindness remain her legacy. Sally Kirkland will forever be remembered as the woman who lived fearlessly, loved deeply, and created passionately. Her story is not one of fame or fortune, but of spirit, a luminous reminder that art and compassion are the truest forms of immortality. Though the curtain has fallen, Sally's light still shines, eternal, brilliant, and free.